that's just fooled me once. To fool me, we can't get fooled again.
Welcome in to David L. Gray Off Code and Off Script. Got your news and your commentary for you today. But first, the sponsors. This video is being sponsored by Aura, who is the new standard in digital security. What is the state of your family's digital security? If you haven't thought about it, well, you should. And some of you know the experience I had with hackers on Facebook. They hacked my Facebook account, posted child pornography to it, had to get the police involved. Well, all that was going on. They're on my business pages, on my business accounts on Facebook, running ads, their ads, racking up hundreds of dollars that I'm paying for out my accounts. Now, I was eventually refunded that money, but I was never restored access to my personal Facebook account. So I completely lost all access to my business accounts. I also lost access to those websites online that I was using my Facebook account to access. So this also, it can hurt your ability to provide for your family. And if you don't think it can happen to you, Americans have lost over $56 billion due to identity theft just in 2020. 1/3 of Americans, 33%, at some point in time in their life, are victims of identity theft. So that's why I'm excited to be partnering with Aura, who is offering you, my followers, people who watch this page, people who click on the link below, a 14-day free trial to their service. Try it out. Aura is a digital security solution that protects your identity, online accounts, devices with one simple subscription. You'll get alerts of fraud and threats fast, like if your online accounts or passwords were leaked online, or if someone tries to open a bank account in your name or social security number. Or will also protect your devices from malware and encrypt your Wi-Fi connection so you can shop, bank, and stream online securely. With an easy online dashboard and alerts sent straight to your phone, Aura keeps you in control and guides you through solving any issues. All plans come with a $1 million in identity theft insurance to help you recover eligible losses and experience US-based customer support that got your back. So if you have a family and assets worth protecting, go to aura.com/David Gray. That's aura.com/David Gray. That's Gray with an A. So you can start your free trial. You have access to a 14-day free trial, and you have nothing to lose just by trying it. In fact, you can save more than you're really willing to lose by not protecting yourself with Aura. So again, that's Aura, AURA.com/David Gray. Start a free trial right after this show is over. And if you forget the link, just click in the description box below. Again, that's aura.com, AURA.com/David Gray. Get yourself and your family protected. Canadian truckers stayed in the headline over the weekend. The Freedom Convoy, as they're being called, is getting rather ugly. And I'm not talking about lot lizards now. For some reason, some well-meaning people decided to go to GoFundMe, the crowdfunding website, to raise money for the truckers. And they raised over $10 million until GoFundMe showed their true colors, again, by targeting conservative groups. And so they shut down the campaign, refunded the contributors their money. And it really didn't pass anyone's notice that just some years ago, GoFundMe was quite happy, quite satisfied, raising money, allowing money to be raised for the people up there in Chaz. That's the Capitol Hill Autonomous Zone up in Seattle. And even after Chaz had turned into ARMS, that's Autonomous Rape, Rob, and Murder Zone, GoFundMe was still sending money up there, still raising money for them. So it didn't pass anyone's notice. So that was unfortunate. Also, the Ottawa mayor has declared a state of emergency up there against the trucker convoy as police have been threatening people and arresting people for bringing gas and food to the truckers. Gas and food. They're not letting people, they're arresting people so that the truckers don't have gas and food. So, and some people are actually worried that the truckers will be arrested if they leave their truck to go to the bathroom. And those people are idiots because everyone knows that truckers do not leave their trucks to go to the bathroom. The guy who yelled at Pope Francis at his General Assembly was still making the rounds this weekend in the Catholic reactionary spirit. So the Catholic reactionaries were still praising this guy who yelled at Pope Francis during the General Assembly. So EWTN Nightly News photographer Daniel Emanez said that the man began yelling in English at the Pope, saying, "This is not God's church." Then he said in Italian, "No more mass in the church. This is not the church of Jesus Christ. This church is one, holy, Catholic, and apostolic, and you're not the king," he says to the Pope. So see, here's the thing. We don't know anything about this guy. The only thing that we know is what he told the police, that he's from Ireland. And also the police have reported there that this guy has been going around to several basilicas and churches in Rome, yelling at the priests, whoever's ministering the sacraments. He's been just standing up and yelling at them. Yeah, we're praising this guy just because we hate Pope Francis. Yeah, we don't know. This guy could be a Protestant. He could be anyone, right? This could be a person who's not friendly with us. This could be a not friendly. Yet we're praising him just because. See, this is how sick this whole thing becomes. This whole anti-Francis thing becomes. And you guys know that many of you disagree with me when I tell you that Pope Francis is the worst pope in the history of the Catholic Church. But that's what I believe. But I'm not obsessed with persecuting him. I'm not going to spend my whole day and night letting the Pope live rent-free in my head and looking for any opportunity to critique anything he says just so I can get some views or something like that, or just to make you angry. Right? So, but that's how sick this whole thing has become. People obsessing about everything Pope Francis says. Anytime this happens in a relationship, it could be your spouse, your coworker, your children, your parents, anytime that you're obsessed with the negativity and finding faults in everything someone says. It got to the point at this General Assembly that the Pope Francis, he loosely quotes St. Paul in Romans 8, talking about no one can take you out of the Father's hand. And these guys, these Catholic reactionaries, called it heresy. That's how sick it is. The sickness is so deep, but we've lost complete sight of the scriptures. So again, we don't know who this guy is. We really don't know why he's there. And he's the type of guy yelling at a mass, going around Rome doing this. See, this is the type of guy, if I saw this guy at a mass doing this, at a liturgy, at a holy liturgy where Christ, the presence of Christ is, the sacred space. If I saw him there like this at a mass doing this, I'm running full speed and I'm drop kicking him in the neck. You don't do that at a mass. He's an idiot. Okay? You don't do that. There's a time and there's a place, and it's not the Holy Mass. It's not the liturgy, because the presence of Christ is there in this holy space. It's time and place. There's a time and a season to do everything, and it's not at the Holy Mass. I'll drop kick this guy. But that's how sick we've become. People, these Catholic reactionaries, who all they talk about how great the liturgy is, how holy it is, get to a traditional Latin Mass, yet they're quite perfectly happy, the hypocrisy, quite perfectly happy with a guy who's going around Rome doing this in a Mass. No, that's sick. I'm not going to stand for it. I'm not going to, just because I don't care for Pope Francis and the evil things that he's doing in the church. I'm not going to celebrate a guy who's going around at Masses yelling and disrupting the liturgy. And we can't let really Pope Francis off the hook either, because here's this guy at the end of the Mass, or at the end of the General Assembly. Pope Francis says this.
Abbiamo sentito alcuni minuti fa una persona che gridava, sgridava, che aveva qualche problema, non so se fisico, psichico, spirituale, ma un fratello nostro in problema. Io vorrei finire pregando per lui, il nostro fratello che soffre, poveretto, se sgridava è perché soffre, ha qualche bisogno, non essere sordi al bisogno di questo fratello.
So essentially, Pope Francis said the guy has a mental illness, right? And I'm really sick of people who every time somebody does something quite rational, in this guy's head, it's probably rational, whatever he is, Protestant, anti-Catholic, whatever reason he's doing this, for him, he thinks it's probably rational. There's no evidence that there's some sort of mental disease here, but this is what we do. Every time somebody does something that's off, right, something that we think is off, we go, oh, he's mentally ill. He's not normal. No. Listen, if my employer 10 years ago, right, who was I? Where was I? I was working at Keppage Ford in Garrettsville, Ohio, selling Fords, right? If Pete Keppage had came out and said, David, you're done. You're out here. You know what I did? I would have took off my shirt because I had a six-pack back then. I would have took off my shirt and walked out of the building, right? Like this guy. But when Antonio Brown did that, everyone said, oh, he's mentally ill. He's mentally... No, this is just a guy with a six-pack. That's what guys with six-packs do. That's how he walk off the job. And every guy who didn't have a six-pack said he was mentally ill. No, he's quite well. He just has a six-pack. Here's another story in news about the police hauling off a man who's apparently not mentally well. They say small town Illinois man is just out here having fun on his ATV, and the neighbors call the police. I mean, look at the guy. He's just out here having fun, having the time of his life. Probably we've been waiting all year for this moment, for the snow. We had our first snow in Illinois. Here come the police. The police tackle the man, jump out the cruiser and tackle the man to the ground. And then another cop comes along and it falls into the ground. Listen, if this is what the police are doing in this town, just defund them. This man is just out here having fun. He didn't need to be tackled for having fun. And shame on the neighbor, snitch. Shame on the neighbor. I mean, could you really imagine that 911 call? Yeah, sir, it's 911 here. How can we help you? What's the emergency? Yeah, there's this guy out here. He's having fun on his ATV. Sir, this is 911. What's the emergency? Well, he's just out here. He's just having fun. He's just riding around on his ATV in the snow. He's doing these 360s. He's doing wheelies on it. Sir, what's the emergency? He's black. We'll be right out there. No, I actually don't know if the man was black, but this is, listen, again, if this what the police are doing in this small town, just defund them. Like this man, we had our first snow in Illinois. He deserved this opportunity to get out there and have a little bit of fun on his ATV. Snitch neighbors ratted him out, and shame on them, right? And now they're calling him, man, I'm sure they're calling him not mentally well. Joe Biden is in the news again this week. The replacement for Supreme Court Justice Stephen Breyer, it continues, but we're expecting this week or soon here to hear who he's going to nominate. And everyone thus far who's poised to be nominated has been a black woman, which has been a dream of eugenicist Martin Luther King Jr., who's at your hearing today, that women are being judged not for the content of their character, but for the color of their skin. I mean, this is a dream realized Martin Luther King Jr. I mean, the Equal Opportunity Employment Division, their enforcement wing, must be really confused right now. I mean, the last time we saw an old white president this obsessed about black women, it was Thomas Jefferson and his sex slave Sally Heming, who he multiple children with. And we black people let the original Uncle Tom off the hook, because if it wasn't for him, well, we wouldn't have had the Jeffersons. And a lot of people have been wondering why Joe Biden whispers all the time. I mean, just look at the guy.
Because I might add, I notice when you all do that, everybody benefits. I'm not being critical of you all. I really mean this. It was legitimate questions you're asking me. Asking me, well, guess what? Employers can't find workers. I said, yeah, pay them more. People are waiting for relief. They're going to be getting checks in the mail that are consequential this week for childcare.
Some people are like, well, maybe he's just, maybe the guy's just creepy, right? Maybe he's just an old man habit. Maybe he's drunk, right? But I have a secret to tell you. A secret which really exposes my own personal YouTube viewing habits. Otherwise, how would I know what I'm about to tell you? So the real reason that Joe Biden whispers in a mic all the time is because he's practicing ASMR. That's ASMR. And if you never heard of it, it stands for, the A is autonomous, the S is for sensory, the M is for meridian, and the R is for response. Autonomous, sensory, meridian, response. If you never heard about it, here's a quick intro from a very popular ASMR YouTuber named Taylor.
Hey, it's me, ASMR, darling. Thank you so much for joining me. So, if you're here, you're probably wondering, why is this girl whispering in my ear? What is she doing? This is so cringy. What is ASMR? So just bear with me on this one. ASMR basically stands for Autonomous Sensory Meridian Response. And that's just a complicated name for a very simple, awesome feeling.
You get it now? Let me show you again. Here's Joe Biden practicing ASMR.
People are waiting for relief. I got them $1.9 trillion relief so far. They're going to be getting checks in the mail that are consequential this week for childcare.
You get it now? Hi. I'm David. Your ASMR Catholic. Bye for now. Arf. Hounds of heaven.